Alright, so this is the beginning of day 17 on the raw food, CrossFit, lifestyle, and all that. And Wednesday I had a whole food salad. I've been eating there a lot lately because I'm painting the gym that I work out at. On my whole food salad I have raw kale, seaweed, and some spinach and lemon juice and avocado dressing and a ton of sprouted quinoa, 2 different kinds. And I had that again the next day. And I did have a smoothie on Wednesday, day 15. On day 16, which was yesterday, I had that whole food salad. I didn't get a chance to make the smoothie because I had an interview early in the morning, and got a job at pest control, which is something I really didn't want to get back into, but you know, I've got amalgam fillings to get out of my mouth, I've got superfoods to buy, I've got bills to pay, so for now I'm going to have to do that and hopefully save the money that I make to get out of that, having to have a job, or at least make my job something that fits into this transformation. So yeah, that day, yesterday I had the whole food salad, and I did have a tuna salad at Subway, which is, it's still raw vegetables, but it's like, it sucked. It's really, bottom of the barrel, obviously. Anyways, it's interesting, at CrossFit my workouts have been going really good for the for 3rd or 4th day in a row. Just like my performance has drastically increased. Yesterday I did deadlifts, so I just got destroyed. I posted a video on it. My back is super sore. It's one of my gym people at the gym who watches my videos mentioned that they are too long, and she sometimes feels like, or this person sometimes feels like they have to fast forward them to get to the entertaining parts. And so I just wanted to address that real quick, just to clarify the purpose of these videos. The purpose of these videos is for me to learn, and then also for me to share. And so, that's it. And in the spirit of sharing, I wanted to cover one other thing. I've been nicknamed by this particular individual as hippie. I was thinking about that. I was like, what does hippie mean? I've been told a lot. I have a lot of associations of what hippie means, and can I own that word? And so I looked it up, and the definition of hippie is a person, especially of the late 1960s, who rejected established institutions. I'm working on that. I can own that part. Well, actually I'm doing that to a degree, but I'm working on rejecting more of the established institutions, because really none of them, most of them are, as George Carlin would say, bullshit, and it's not good for you. So, and values, let's see, established institutions and values, and sought spontaneity, direct personal relations expressing love, definitely can own that, and expanded consciousness, I'll own that too, often expressed externally in wearing of casual folksy clothing and of beads, headbands, used garments, etc. I'm not there yet at all. Let's see here, another one is flower child. This one I thought was interesting. I think this is what a lot of people think of when people use the word hippie, and it's the one I want to kind of not be, not even that I want to not be associated with it, I'm just not. It's not what I'm doing, right? A long-haired, drug-using youth of the 1960s and 70s. That guy looks like a hippie left over from the 60s. Yeah, so anyways, within the definition of hippie, I'll own those things. So I'm definitely a hippie. In fact, maybe I'll like create my own title out of it. Like CrossFit raw foodie hippie or something. I don't know. Anyways, the other thing was, I want to share something I've learned that's helped me a lot as far as like with stress and like just my mind in general. And I think would be helpful for this individual that I'm referring to. And that is first do an exercise and start out with a Huna Ha breath. It's something I've learned. Americans in general breathe very shallowly all day and don't get enough oxygen in their blood and don't oxygenate their brain, so they can't function properly. In fact, there's an ancient story about the Hawaiians. They lived very they saw nature as one. They were one with everything around them, and had certain abilities to communicate with nature and really were more in the moment and really had the power of the moment. And one of their practices was the Huna Ha breath, and sometimes they would breathe up to 6 hours together just doing this breathing. And before they ever would talk to you, they made sure to take a breath. And so when the Spanish landed, they just came up and started talking, what's wrong with you, what are you doing, this is what we believe, what do you believe, blah, blah, blah. Like society does today. People just talk. They never take a moment to just not think, just be, right? And so they called them howlies, which means without breath, a man without breath. So they even thought that they might be like they're less alive, because breath is life force. It's what generates the living force. And so the Huna Ha breath goes like this. You start in the stomach, right? First breathe out all the air. Just start in the stomach. Through the nose, very important. Through the nose you breathe in and you fill the stomach first, and then you fill the chest, and you fill as much air as you possibly can, right? And then you hold it for a second, and then what you want to do is breathe out with this sound. Really important, the ha sound. And it feels different if you just experiment with it for a little bit. And the second most important part is that the in-breath is, the out-breath is twice as long as the in-breath. It's a 1-to-2 ratio, so I'll do one right now. Alright, so that's basically how it goes. And, the other thing is, what was the other thing? When you breathe out, hold your chest out and make sure the stomach collapses first. That's another piece to it. Now, if you just do 3 of those before this quick exercise, this is a saying that I learned. At first I thought a lot about it, analyzed it. I didn't get it, but if I just I sat there for 15 minutes a day and I just tried to do this, right? So what I want you to do right now, after you take those 3 breaths, which I'll take them right now, and do this exercise actually, is listen to the sky, or knock on the sky and listen to the sound. It's not literal, it's a saying. It's something you're going to do in your mind, right? Knock on the sky and listen to the sound. And after I take my breaths, I'll repeat that a few times so you don't have to think about it as much, like repeating it. Just try to do it and see what happens, right? It's something I learned and I did and I benefited quite a bit from. So, here we go. knock on the sky, and listen to the sound. And what I want you to do is knock on the sky and listen to the sound. Knock on the sky and listen to the sound. Knock on the sky and listen to the sound. Alright, one last time. Knock on the sky and listen to the sound. Alright, so anyways, that's an old Zen saying. And even just doing this, right? Just for a second there, like, I don't know if you can see in my body language, but my mental machinery, so to speak, started thinking about it like, oh, this is funny, or you know what I mean? Like, you constantly have this sub-dialogue going on. And what that's about, and you'll just experience it for yourself, don't take my word for it, this has only been my own experience, I'm sharing it with you, is that if you can quiet your mind, you can do that. Knock on the sky and listen to the sound, right? Which you might have to practice that on your own quite a bit. You know, try to do it for 15 minutes. Do it as long as you can, and just it'll grow and you can do it for longer. But you really, if you're just being there, if you're just comfortable, you're just not, your mind is quiet. There's no insecurities. There's no, that sub-dialogue goes away. And so anyways, I'm just sharing that with you. And this is start of day 17. And I'll make another video to cover today, and possibly at the end of today or the beginning of tomorrow or a couple days. It's been going differently, and now that I've got a job, it might be, you know, even farther. I might do one every 4 days. I don't know, I'll do them when I can, and just stay posted.